Welcome to I Wrote This News. Today is January 28, 2022. Here's what you need to know. Story number 1, I scream, you scream, but no matter how much we scream, Putin is going to make the call. In an impromptu interview with reporters at a Washington, D.C. ice cream shop, President Joe Biden acknowledged a deeply uncertain situation at the Ukraine border, where Russian troops are amassing but few observers have any definitive knowledge of whether or when they might invade. Earlier, the White House said a Russian invasion was imminent, and American troops have been placed on high alert to deploy to Europe in a show of reassurance. U.S. and European sanctions have been readied in the event of an invasion. Even as tensions mount, however, Biden conceded that one man's opaque decision-making would determine how events unfold. This is all Putin. I don't even think his people know for certain what he will do, Biden said after sneaking past eldercare security at the White House and was seen trying to charge his plain vanilla cone with Mitch McConnell's Costco membership card. Story number 2, these rules are made for knockin. Sarah Palin, the former Republican vice presidential candidate, has continued to dine out at New York City restaurants despite testing positive for COVID-19. The ex-Alaska governor, who is not vaccinated, was spotted on Wednesday eating outdoors at the Upper East Side restaurant Leo's after testing positive for the illness. Palin had dined at the same restaurant on Saturday night, where she was seen eating indoors in violation of city rules requiring proof of vaccination for indoor dining. Palin returned to the restaurant Wednesday evening to, quote, apologize for the fracas around her previous visit, said the restaurant's manager. She promised she'd return again soon, perhaps to apologize for creating a second-order fracas. Despite CDC guidance that people with COVID-19 should isolate for at least 5 days to avoid further spread, Palin was spotted dining out again on Tuesday night. Palin is reported to have said that she thought that isolate is what you say when you arrive for your dinner reservation more than 15 minutes behind schedule, and that super spreader is the name of a menu item combining tomato bisque and half a bagel with cream cheese. Story number 3, now I shall lay me down to sleep. Prince Andrew is said to be readying the sale of his Swiss chalet to raise cash for legal fees and the prospect of a multi-million-dollar judgment or settlement in a case alleging that he had sex with a teenager without her consent 2 decades ago. Andrew quietly cleared the way to sell his 7-bedroom Swiss lodge with an indoor swimming pool late last year, paying millions he owed the previous owner to remove a court claim that would have impeded putting the property on the market. To make things even more difficult for him, Andrew has been stripped of his military titles, royal honorifics, and any illusion that his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, will stand by him. If fully stripped of all titles, the prince will have to go by his real name, Andrew Albert Christian Edward, which frankly sounds like a coach taking roll call for a badminton squad. Story number 4, plenty of Republicans say there's still a chance. Roughly 1 in 6 Americans, and nearly 1/3 of Republicans, believe there may be a path to replace President Biden with former President Trump before the next presidential election, according to a new Monmouth University poll released on Thursday. 17% say that they still see a path to reinstating the former president sometime in the next 2.5 years, despite Trump losing both the popular and electoral college votes to Biden in the 2020 presidential election. 6% say they definitely see a path to replacing Biden with Trump, while 11% say there probably is.
What are my chances?
Not good.
You mean not good like 1 out of 100?
I'd say more like 1 out of 1,000,000.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
The poll also found that 32% of respondents and 61% of Republicans chalk up the Biden victory to voter fraud, echoing Trump's baseless claim that the election results were marred by cheating. Now it's time for On This Date in History. On this date in 1896, scofflaw and bad boy Walter Arnold of East Peckham, Kent, becomes the first person to be convicted of speeding. He was fined 1 shilling for speeding at 8 miles per hour, well over the posted 2-mile-per-hour limit. On this date in 1938, the world land speed record on a public road is broken by Rudolf Caracciola, no relation, in a Mercedes-Benz W195 at a speed of 269 miles per hour. On this date in 1958, the Lego company patents the design of its Lego bricks, still compatible with bricks produced today. On this date in 1988, the Supreme Court of Canada strikes down all anti-abortion laws. Celebrating birthdays today are actors Alan Alda, Barbie Benton, and Elijah Wood, Mexican businessman and dude with a really cool name, Carlos Slim, mega pastor Rick Warren, singers Sarah McLachlan and Nick Carter, comedian Mo Rocca, Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett, and chemist Edith Flanagan, who turns 93. Happy birthday to all of them, and if your birthday is today, a very happy birthday to you as well. Today's news was brought to us by CNN, The Guardian, The Washington Post, The Hill, Monmouth University, and Wikipedia. If you have a comment or a question about anything you've heard today, or if you have a suggestion, please send us a note at IWTN, all one word, at thatradioshow.com. That email address one more time is IWTN, all one word, at thatradioshow.com.
One more thing, if this podcast sounds a little funny, that's because it's also an experiment. All of the vocals were generated using AI technology. Hopefully the show will sound different and better as the tech improves and as we improve at using it. I'm Bob Neese, hoping you have an amazing day. We'll get together again soon.